Folks, if you have heartburn, it could be that your microbiome, that means the good bacteria in your gut, are the culprits. How are you going to know this? Because traditional medicine misses this all the time. That's what we're going to talk about on this video. So stay with me, because I'm also going to, at the end of this, talk about an offer for you to actually find out, is it your microbiome? Quick, let's just start with some anatomy of the gut. Your intestines are like a tube, and that tube is like a big jumbled up garden hose, right? And inside that tube, throughout the entire length of it, you have your good bacteria, what are called your probiotics, all right? Those probiotics are the good bacteria, and they promote a healthy gut. All right, so that's plain and simple. Now, the importance of the microbiome is to detoxify the gut. So we have the microbiome. It helps detox. It helps absorb. It helps protect. And it helps move things along. Okay? You have a toxin that you get in your body, you got to get rid of it. Your microbiome helps you do that. You got to absorb the nutrients that you have, that you've eaten. Your microbiome helps you do that. Protect the gut. Your probiotics in the microbiome, they boost your immune system. All right? And then getting the actual garden hose to squeeze and move the stool from one end down through the other and out. Okay? You need those things to actually move through. The problem with a gut health that's poor and a microbiome that's struggling is that there's a few things that actually happen. One is, when these things don't work right, it starts to put pressure back up into this thing called the lower esophageal sphincter, the LES. That's that little valve that opens and closes between the stomach and the intestine. That opens up when you eat and closes down when you're done eating. Both the food and the pressure from a poor microbiome pushes the food back up this way, not down this way. And you start to get food that pushes through that valve back up into your throat. Boom. Heartburn. Okay? And you might be experiencing this. And hang on here, we're going to talk about something. You can find out what's causing that. All right? We're going to get there. Next thing. You also have this, like I talked about here, you need to be able to move your food through. If your microbiome is not healthy, you can't squeeze food down. The food sits and stagnates. People who are constipated, if you're not pooping at least once a day, you're constipated. Okay? If you're not moving things through, then as food is being pushed down as you eat, it's not being pushed out on the other end from the previous 2 or 3 meals, and so your food doesn't want to move all the way down. Your stomach's like, all right, well, I guess we're just going to hang out here. We're in a holding pattern. Heartburn. Okay? That's a problem. Another thing that happens, we talked about protection. If you don't protect the gut well, then you end up developing bacterial overgrowth. This thing called SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. The microbiome protects you from this issue. So if you're getting inflammation in the gut, this bacterial overgrowth, well, now it's hard, again, for food to move through and things just slow down. That slowing process, the stomach realizes that the intestine is not ready for food because it's inflamed. The stomach, again, ends up in a holding pattern and the food backs up. You get heartburn from the gas and the food going back the opposite direction, okay? Plain and simple, you gotta figure out what's going on with your probiotics. And so many of us have been on antibiotics throughout our life, whether we were infants, if we were toddlers, if we were kids, teenagers, young adults, a variety of things that we end up with in terms of infection. And the medical field does a good job of at least trying to help us and keep us from dying, but the antibiotics kill off the bad bacteria and the good bacteria. So here's what I'm offering you today. You gotta find out how healthy is your microbiome. This is what I'm gonna do for you. You're gonna take advantage of, at the bottom of this, you'll see a link to a free call with us to figure out how you're going to move forward with either a healthy gut or an unhealthy gut. And if you have an unhealthy gut, you're going to be having heartburn issues. And it's not a food issue. It's not a lack of PPI and medication issue. It's an unhealthy microbiome. You got to figure this out. Got to get this tested. And this is what we do. We oftentimes use a stool test. And this starts with the discovery call. It's a free call with us. Let's find out what's going on with you if you're a good candidate for this type of treatment. If you are, great. Now, if you're far away, we're in the southeastern part of the country, don't worry. We can send you what you need. We have tons of patients from all over the country. We do this telehealth perspective and virtual calls. We help patients from all over the place fix this problem. But you got to find out if you have the problem. So take advantage, sign up for this free call, answer all the questions you might have. We want to make sure you're a good candidate. It takes about 15 to 30 minutes, but this is where you start. Today is the day for you to finally figure out, gosh, is this why I still have the heartburn? Let's find out today. Look forward to talking to you.